Hello everybody, welcome to Rum's Living channel, and this is my review of the... I hate this crap. Guys, it's taken me forever to come up with my first video. This is just a pain in the ass. The only reason I'm doing it is I've learned so much on YouTube in the last year, it's just ridiculous. This particular firearm is very controversial. It should be very easy to make a first review. Definitely don't try and do a first video on a gun that has a million parts as opposed to a gun that might be quite simple. This is the Kel-Tec pf9, but I want to let you know that this firearm costs around $230, $250. When it comes to taking a gamble on a firearm, $250 is very little to take a gamble. This is a 9mm. The reason you're looking at this in the first place is its size and dimensions and caliber. This firearm is just barely bigger than what most people would consider to be a mouse gun. When I say just barely bigger, I mean in length and grip size. In width, it is one of the thinnest firearms you will ever find. I've just returned from the range with my first 48 rounds of break-in period through this firearm. It was absolutely flawless, and I want to point out a couple things to you from other channels that seem to be major points. And when I say major points, I mean when you're looking for this firearm, or any firearm for that matter, you may see review after review after review that say the same thing, and then you may see one thing that just completely blows your opinion of a firearm. And I understand that, and I just want to give you a realistic and 100% valid first impressions of this firearm. This trigger right here. People claim that the area right here is too small to get your finger in with a glove. They may be right. Okay? But again, this is a defensive firearm. How often are you walking around with gloves? In this same category, I've heard over and over again, this trigger just hurts my finger. Well, it just hurts my finger. Again, people talk right away that this is a defensive firearm and it doesn't matter. But I have to give you my honest opinion that this trigger did not hurt my finger in any way, shape, or form imaginable. While we're still on the same category, the trigger, people have mentioned the reset. They claim that the reset is too far back here. And I will admit that there is some sort of first staging back here and some sort of second staging on the reset that is the actual reset of the trigger. Now on this overall category, folks, and while I'm at it, anything about this firearm, when I went to the range today, I addressed this firearm from a clean slate. Not from what it cost, not from any reviews. I forgot about all the negatives that I heard about the reset. I forgot about all the negatives that I heard about the trigger hurting your finger, and I almost forgot about everything about it being snappy, but I wanted to make sure that the gun didn't go flying out of. The magazine on this firearm is a 7+1 that comes with it. It also comes with a little bit of a finger extension on this. Most people, from what I can see, do not like it. For me, my third finger doesn't come anywhere close to this extension anyway. It curls under the firearm here anyway. So I have two fingers here, and that's it. And that's just fine with me. There's no problem in operating this firearm in that manner. I do not leave my finger dangling out here. I leave it curled right back here. Now I have purchased a +1 magazine that goes in this firearm from, well, not from Kel-Tec. And let me just point this out right here. From what I can tell, the magazines and accessories that come from Kel-Tec, you want to order from Kel-Tec. If you go to a gun show, you may not always get the very best pricing if you don't know what you're doing. If you just bought this firearm and you automatically want a +1 with a finger grip on it, you may pay a little bit more than you pay straight through Kel-Tec. And I thank you, Kel-Tec Firearms, for not gouging us on magazines. With that +1 magazine, to be honest, guys, I haven't put it in yet. It cost me, I believe, $34 at the gun show. When I did more and more research on this firearm, I was kind of afraid to even open up the magazine because I work at the gun show. I can go back there with free admission. I can exchange it next time if this firearm didn't work. That's how non-myopic I am. I've never owned a Kel-Tec. Honestly, 2 shows ago, I told my favorite firearm dealer that I didn't trust this firearm with my life because of the reviews that I read. I have since changed my mind so far. There is nothing wrong with this firearm. There is nothing wrong with them. I want to give this firearm at least 200 rounds, and then I'm going to go back, and then I'm going to try the aftermarket, well, actually not aftermarket magazine, it's still a Kel-Tec, and I'm going to try that extension on it. I don't know that I'm going to like it, and if I don't, then maybe I will return it. This portion right here matters in concealed carry. You guys may really underestimate how much this sticks out of your shirt. Again, one of the reasons you bought this firearm, most of you, is the thinness of it. The overall length is very small, almost in the mouse gun category. The frame on this. Now I like to call it kind of a pineapple grenade.